All right, y'all. Today is the day. It is going down, literally. About to start body dropping my s10. It's going down 3.5 more inches. So body drop. I'm gonna try to stock floor it, 100% stock floor. No traditional. I'm gonna have to cut the floor, but yeah, I'm gonna try to stock floor it. Build a little shorter frame, see if we can get it down. Raise transmission tunnel up, drive shaft tunnel, and keep my leg room, because it's a regular cab. I ain't real tall, but it's already kind of cramped. So here goes nothing. About to pull this front end apart and get these fender wells out. My whole plan has been to put vintage air on this truck, because air conditioning all still works in it. Is to put vintage air on it. But I spent all my money on Impala wheels. So what I'm probably going to end up doing is just shaving the firewall, and then in a couple months, couple years, couple decades, who knows, whenever I get the money to order some vintage air, I'll order it. But my plan is to go back to a stock hood if I can keep everything under stock hood. Rance has done several of these trucks. He says you can do it. So fixing to pull this thing in, like I say, get the hood off, get the fenders off, get the inner fenders out, get everything off the fenders. I've got to disconnect the AC. I'm not going to show you that because that's illegal. I got to disconnect the clutch, the brakes, all the cab mounts, and get that cab ready to come off. So before the night's over with, I hope to have the cab in the air. We'll find out. All right, so first and foremost, I went by, got me some $1 a box handy wrap Ziploc bags for nuts and bolts, because I'm terrible at nut and bolting stuff and keeping up with it. I just kind of throw it all in a pile, and when I get ready to put the strut back together, I would like to know what went where. So I've got that. Chandler's gonna be here in just a minute to help me take the hood off, because the paint on this truck ain't great, but I don't want to make it any worse. So we're gonna snatch the hood off, put it in the corner, and then he's got to go detail a car, so I'm gonna start pulling fenders off. First thing I'm gonna do is pull these inner fenders off, get all this stuff loose. I got to pull the battery out. This got to come off, blah, blah, blah. Y'all know the deal. All that's got to come off. I should have done this when I bagged it and just seen how close it was to laying out without modifying the air conditioner box, because the tire was rubbing the fender, but yeah, I didn't. I didn't want to lose my air conditioner. So I knew if I took the fender wells out and didn't lay, I'd take the air conditioner off. So there's that. But I'll set y'all up on time lapse, and y'all can watch me destroy the best running truck I own. Here goes nothing. So I've been working on it for like 4 minutes, and I've already found a problem. This is going well. But with no fender wells, there's so much room for activities. But these nuts pretty shocks I just put on there the other day are gonna hit the clutch, which I didn't see because the fender well was still in it, and I did not take any into account. The number one first thing that I can think of doing is maybe cutting this down, because I still had like 2 inches left on this shock to collapse. So if I just move this down 2 inches and make the shock fully collapse, laid out, that might would work. I don't know. We'll figure it out, I guess, when we get to that point. Let's go take the other side loose. Party foul. So to get the fender off, you need to pull the wiper cowl off, because there's a bolt up under the wiper cowl. In order to get the wiper cowl off, there's 4 screws across the front. I don't remember what size they are, like 8 millimeters. But to get these aggravating SOBs off right here, you got to get, I'm sure they make a tool for this, but you got to get up under this with a pick and pry it over. And then mine's been there since 1989, so I had to get this whole flathead up against it right there and just, and it popped off. The driver's side one popped off really easy. The passenger side one, I couldn't see it because it's way over there. And I finally got the clip tool in there, or the pick in there. and got it off. And yeah, those, I don't know. They may not even go back on. I may shave all this. Okay, I got to drop the mini nats. They're going back on. Also, my truck had this cool antenna, CB radio, whatever. I don't know, antenna. I didn't even know it was hooked up, but apparently it's hooked up. Apparently, it's not going to be hooked up anymore after just a second. Who listens to the radio anyway? Oh, I got windshield wiper squirters. They're still hooked up. Okay, I got to take that loose too. Don't forget that. That's right, so you got to get the wiper cowl out so you can get to this one bolt. Gonna take my blower and jaws. There's that bolt I just laid it there. I forgot about it. Going forever. All right, so you got to take that bolt out. There's a bunch of bolts around the front. If you can't take a fender off, you probably shouldn't try to body drop your truck yourself. Just gonna throw that out there. Maybe when you put it back on, you align it better than whoever put this fender on did. I would, yeah. Oh God, so much work to do. I'm really excited at the moment. About 3 days from now, I'm gonna be like, oh, why did I do that? Headlight bezel's out. That is a T15 torch bit. 2 screws here, 2 at the bottom. Now I can get to this panel to unbolt it from the fender. There's a fender bolt. This is bolted to the fender. These fenders, it takes a few minutes to get them off. Like a 9906 Silverado, I would probably done have both fenders off. These take a little while. So just kind of showing you in case you've never tore one down, but you plan on doing this. Probably gonna go ahead and just take the grill out too. I've had it out before. I painted it a couple years ago and cleaned it up. It was like really faded. And it probably needs to be replaced again. Yeah, that full billet one that I have right there. So the next thing I'm taking off is this panel. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then there's also 2 that comes in from the bottom. I just used a long extension. I don't know if you can, well, you can't see up in there. Anyway, there's a bolt here and a bolt there. And you can see right there where it screws in it. So there's 7 total holes this in. Go ahead and get it out the way. I got to unhook the marker light so hooked from it. There we go. We got that off. Put it on the frame table. So Dawson came over tonight. First time I saw him in a few weeks. Actually, he was here Saturday. Oh, I'm sorry, I dropped y'all. Sorry, YouTube, I dropped you. Yeah. He was here Saturday. I forgot. Yeah, I know. So we got this fender unbolted. There's the windshield wiper squirter reservoir thing. Probably gonna do away with that because I'll be honest, in 4.5 years on this truck, I don't think I've ever used it. So bye. Those relays, I'm fixing to unbolt those. The hood cable is already loose. This side has got a coolant overflow jug. I'm gonna get rid of that. Battery gone. That AC stuff gone. Oh, I got my other squirter inside. So the tire is sitting on the that, and it's sitting on the AC. Which is why I didn't pull the fender wheels out before, because I didn't want to lose my AC, but now it's that point where we got to. So next thing you see, fenders will be off. And it actually lays out right now. So, I'm still contemplating this shock issue. We'll figure it out though.
Yeah, we'll cut them.
Yeah. You almost pulled it off too early.
Yeah, my bad.
Yeah. It's like a million bolts in that fender. There's going to be 3 when I put it back together.
At least
3
maybe 4.
You know, 3 don't hold it, 17 never would.
Like 1 in each corner.
Yeah. All right, so it lays out now because it doesn't have inner fenders, but
if you do that, then you'll get called a hack.
yeah. So sent to the AC, and if we were just trying to lay this out like it is, we could probably modify that. But when that goes up 3.5 inches, that's not gonna work. Nope. So got to break some AC lines loose. Let's get the vacuum pump out, pull that out. I'm gonna take the master cylinder loose from the brake booster and just leave it on the frame. And the clutch has got to come loose, and all the wiring. Probably just gonna unplug it from the firewall, or I can just take the cab off. And then that way all the engine wiring stays on the engine. And I don't have to mess with that. So there's a plug right here. You take loose It's like I believe a 7mm screw in the middle. Yeah, right there. You take it loose and all those unplug and they all stay there. Who's that?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it does sound like Chandler. All right, back to work. I can't read it. 1/4 inch. 7mm is too big. God, it dies when you don't use it.
Operator equipment mismatch. And you wonder why we call him the angry midget. Okay, take 2. Let's see if you can get one.
I think it's on the way out. Now we gotta make it unplug. We got factory zip tie. Probably
You
more.
got it out?
No.
What you waiting on?
I'm trying. It's been there since 1989.
The second tool. One eternity later.
Why won't you come loose?
Okay, I'm gonna go take a nap.
All right, so this plug had never been out, and it's got like glue in there to keep it plugged in, I guess. So yeah, it's 2 separate plugs. So this one snaps into these 2 clips after you get it out. Once you pull these up, you push it that way, and it'll come out. And then you separate them here. One of them goes to the engine, one of them goes to the chassis for like your tail lights and your headlights and stuff. They'll all unplug. They're 2 separate harnesses. So, and then I got it clips there. I'm assuming this one's probably the tail light harness because it clips and goes down to the frame. Parking brakes here. I'm gonna have to figure out how to take that loose because I think this is the one truck that I do not want to get rid of that on. I would like to keep the parking brake. And then I'm just gonna go through, label all these wires. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 9, 12, whatever. I already unplugged that one. I got to label it. And yeah, that's gonna have to get relocated. This is probably gonna have to get relocated. This firewall is gonna have to be tubbed. This is gonna be fun. So we're geniuses. We laid the truck out and was like, yeah, it lays out now. It don't have fender wells in the front. And then we took the battery and all the wiring loose and then realized
It was laid out.
the truck's laid out and we can't move it. So we had to hook the battery back up. We had to plug the firewall plug back in right there. And we're letting it build up some air. We got it picked all the way up. That way I can get it on the lift tomorrow. And I'm probably gonna quit for tonight because I need to be able to move it tomorrow. And I don't wanna have to rehook all that stuff back up. Once I get it on the lift tomorrow, I get the bed bolts out, I'll get the bed off and I'll put it on shop air so I can air it up and move it around. I'll just, but I gotta be able to get to the valve block at the back to take the lines loose because I'm not running new lines. There's no point. I'll just put a T in there and air it up with shop air. So, yeah. Dude come real far apart today. I told Chandler earlier, I was like, I'm gonna have the cab off of it tonight. He was like, I knew I wasn't going to, but he probably thinks I'm gonna have the cab off of it tonight. So, but once I get it on shop air tomorrow, I'll get the cab ready to come off, and yeah, move right along with this project. So, next day, we got the front end all tore apart. Just got off work, picked my kid up from school, stopped and bought her a Happy Meal because she was starving, and she's gonna feed all of it to the dogs.
I'm giving them each a French fry.
All right, so fix to pick this thing up, get the bed bolts out of it, get the bed snatched off, and then that way I can put it on shop air, and then start taking all the wiring loose, labeling it, marking it, and gotta get everything pulled off, unplugged off its firewall. Gotta unplug this again, get the battery back out, and get it ready to get the cab picked up tonight, hopefully. I got to get inside and take the shifter loose too, which I've never done. So that could be like a 3-minute job or 3-hour job. I don't know. So here we go. Today, Junior.
I feel like I'm about to mess it up. Because it ain't spinning.
It's probably.
Oh, there it goes. Yeah, see, don't never doubt the queen. Queen of mini trucks.
Yeah, girl.
Here you go.
Here, I'm gonna lift on. All right, one more. We'll snatch this bed off.
Don't be like this.
All right, so when I body dropped this bed, I over body dropped it to make up for this right here. For the body drop we're about to do. So I've got extra 3.5 inches right there. I think it's actually like 3 3/4, so that this can't hit. That's definitely not gonna hit. That's way more than 3.5. So yeah, we planned ahead on that.
You just hurt me.
All this is gonna come out, the wheel tubs that we put in there. They were just kind of temporary to keep dirt and all off the back glass. We're gonna cut those out. We're gonna do some sheet metal panels around the edge, build some new wheel tubs.
Did you know that?
Nope.
You hurt me.
How?
Because you kicked the impact. And it
I did not touch that
y'all
impact.
like my socks. Wait, no, it says cardio and then it says, I thought you said Oreo.
They can read.
I stole them.
So me and the kiddo got the bed off while I was in the air. I took all 4 of the cab bolts and bushings off. Labeled those. I know that don't really matter, but I labeled them. I always do that for some reason. I got the cab bushings out, and I got the e-brake cable took loose under the cab. And I've also got it unclipped from the frame. So when the cab comes up, the e-brake cable is going to come with it. I would really like to keep that, but I don't know. We'll see. It's manual, so it can roll. It can't roll when it's sitting on the rockers, but you know, it's nice to have. Like when you're trying to load it on trailer and stuff, it's a nice feature. I've got this wiring harness. Saw that last night. Had a couple plugs in it. That one wasn't hooked up to anything. Windshield wiper squirter tank. This goes to this vacuum canister. I've got a ground here. All right, and basically I'm showing all y'all this so I can document it for myself, so I can go back and rewatch it and know where everything went. I got a plug here for the windshield wiper motor. That goes down the back of the motor, but it is loose from the cab, so cut a couple zip ties. It's going to stay with the frame. And then I've got this plug that comes out here. All this stuff runs over and goes to the AC stuff, which is probably going to get deleted. And then I've got a power distribution block right here. I'm going to have to trace those wires and see. I think that goes to the AC, and then this goes down to the starter. So it brings fire up here. That's what powers the blower motor. Don't quote me on that, though. And after that, I'm going to take the master cylinder loose from the brake booster, leave it on the frame so the brake lines will stay connected. This will go up with the cab. And all the proportional valve and all that stuff will stay. And I've got to undo the heater hoses on that side. I'm going to put a catch pan under it and try to catch all of it I can so my dogs don't drink all the antifreeze. Because that's bad. And take this clutch loose and it'll be ready to come off. All right, so I forgot to tell y'all an important thing to remember to take loose. The throttle cable. This 2.5 has got this bracket bolted to the top of the motor right there. See 3 bolt holes. I took this loose and was gonna try to get this out, and then I realized I needed to just take the whole bracket loose. So it's got like the second cable hooks. It's kind of a weird setup, but anyway, there's a second cable that goes here. It's got to be hooked, and then it hooks into here, and that thing pulls it. Yeah, it's like weird. But I just took the whole bracket loose because that seemed, I'll just let it go with the cab. I'm still finding more stuff to take loose. Just labeling all my wire the best I can. And I'm gonna put this back on so we don't get a bunch of trash in our motor because this thing runs too good to be messing up. Hopefully in the next hour or two, it'll be ready to come off. I gotta take these heater hoses loose too. I'm gonna leave the radiator hoses on for right now. And then once I get the cab off, I'll probably roll it out and stick a pan under those and drain it. And go from there. Dan's out here still finding stuff to take loose. We're gonna do the shifter now. Yeah, that was lovely. He's actually getting screws out. I tried to take these screws out the other day when I bagged it to run the cable, and they wouldn't come out. Well, that one did, as you can see, the daylight. But the rest of them would not. So I'm really surprised those are coming out. Fixing to take my kids' collection of stuff off the shifter. And see what we gotta do to take that loose. And
She gonna be big man.
that's it, ain't it? That's everything. Cab fit to come off this dude. Hopefully. So I think we got everything loose. We got to find out. I think we need to take them front stands off, don't you? Picking up kind of uneven. No, let's go with it. So I did not see it because of the AC box, but there's a plug that goes into the firewall here. And I really thought that I was fixing to take all these wires loose. And Dan crawled under there. He saved the day because he found that it plugs in up under the dash up behind the glove box. So he unplugged all that, pulled that through. Looked like we had something rubbing there. What the heck that was? So it's separated. Time to roll it out, drain the coolant out, and push it in and start building a frame. We got to get all them fuel lines out. Gas tank's got to come out. I've got to go get my trailer and sit this down on it so I can get it out of the way. And then when I get ready for it, we'll pull it back in, tub the firewall, shave the firewall, and cut transmission tunnel out because all that's got to go if we're going to stock floor it. I think we should just
put it this way.
Yeah, you think we should just traditional it? And then instead of raising transmission tunnel,
that, then you're gonna lose a lot of headroom.
yeah, we'd have to raise the whole floor. That's a lot of welding. Figure we might as well go ahead and pull the radiator out while we keep it out here and drain it without, you know, destroying your shop floor. And look at Dan, he's draining it without even getting in the dirt. Proud of him. And I'm gonna pull this fence right off because it's not going back on. I got some electric fans for it if they'll work. And then, yeah, that's a long ways down the road. Chandler showed up whenever we were done.
Yeah.
He broke some stuff and he didn't even know it. Me and Dan got the cab off earlier. He showed up with a pressure washer. Thanks.
Yep.
I didn't even ask him to. I told Dan whenever he messaged me, I was like, I didn't intend to bring a pressure washer, and then he showed up and he had it in the truck. So, bonus point to you. Strip down. Hey, look. Lays out. And we got a bunch of work to do. Yeah, let's stock floor in S10. It'll be easy. Yeah. All right, so I'm going to cut this video off here because now you got to come back for part 2 because, well, I didn't show you anything on this except destruction. Tomorrow, I'm going to jack it up, start pulling stuff off. Fuel lines, brake lines, gas tank, all that stuff, and get it ready to start building some frame rails. My plan is I'm going to build a frame inside of this one and make it shorter. And weld the new frame to the old frame, cut the top of it off. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it'll make sense whenever I show you. Because we got to make the frame go from this tall to about this tall so that it don't go into the floor. Stock floor body drop. Also, I'm going to move the cab back 3/4 of an inch to center the front wheel and the fender well because it's not centered now. And it also, I don't have to tub the firewall as much, and it closes up the gap between the bed and the cab. And what else? Sound good to y'all? Sound good to me. Thank y'all for checking it out. Come back and watch the next one. Y'all not gonna wave or nothing? That's so rude. Bye, y'all.